Hello, everyone. It's Bill. Just wanted to talk to you this morning a little bit about what God says about women. Now, as a man, there are many topics that I cannot um, talk about. I mean, that I don't know about because I haven't experienced them because I'm not a woman. There's a lot of things that I don't know that women go through. I just know what God expects from women, and I know what I look for in women when I am trying to date them or have some kind of relationship with them, and what I hope all men look for in women. And like I said in a previous video, the role of men is not to dominate women, but to love them and take care of them. And that's what women should be looking for when they look for men. So, you may know which Bible verses I'm going to quote. It's from Proverbs 31, beginning at the 10th verse. An excellent wife who can find? She is far more precious than jewels. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and he will have no lack of gain. She does him good and not harm all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax and works with willing hands. She is like the ships of the merchant. She brings food from afar. She rises while it is yet night and provides food for her household and portions for her maidens. She considers a field and buys it with the fruit of her hands. She plants a vineyard. She dresses herself with strength and makes her arms strong. She perceives that her merchandise is profitable. Her lamp does not go out at night. She puts her hands to the distaff, and her hands hold the spindle. She opens her hand to the poor and reaches out her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of snow for her household, um, for all her household are clothed in scarlet. She makes bed coverings for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband is known at the gates when he sits among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them. She delivers sashes to the merchants. Strength and dignity are her clothing, and she laughs at the time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. She looks well to the ways of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. Many women have done excellency, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her works praise her in the gates. That is how all women should be. That's basically saying women, Proverbs 31 type women, Christian women, will get up and do what they got to do, take care of their household, take care of their family, make sure that their family is clothed, food, has everything they need, and will get their kids off to school early in the morning or get them up and get them dressed to do homeschool, whatever they do, however that works per family. And they will seek the Lord in all that they do, and that they will be gentle creatures, and that they will be loving, and they will be kind, and they will be caretakers, and they will serve their family. And I don't mean serve by slavery. Okay, it's not what I mean. They'll take care of their family. They will do what is necessary for their children and for their husband, and to make sure that the home is happy and that it's taken care of and that their family is healthy, and whatever they need to make their family grow, or so that they can live and survive and thrive, they will do what they have to do to make that happen. And they they will not cheat on their husband. They will not gossip with other women. And that's men cannot gossip and cheat either. Let's just throw that out there. But just trying to focus on women here. Um, Women will recognize when they're pregnant that they have another life in them. That the body that carries this baby might be theirs, but there is another body with a soul in there. Okay, and death and abortion should never be an option. That being said, the women that have done that, that have engaged in this, and the families that have done this and engaged in it and allow it, God forgives you. God sees you. God knows your pain and sorrow and what you're going through after you committed this, after you did this act. It would be a better option for people to not do that. But if they're pregnant and they don't want to be, to carry the child to term and to then give that child up for adoption to a loving family that will take care of him or her. And a child should never be looked at as an inconvenience. But for those people that have done that, God forgives them. Look to God. Call out to God. He died on the cross to forgive you of this. He knows your pain. He knows your suffering. He knows that if you could have that child back, you would. But if that child died in the womb, whether it was your fault or just life, something happened in the womb, and the child was stillborn, if you go to heaven, you will see that child. That child will be waiting for you. So don't give up hope. Don't lose hope. It was a bad, tragic thing that happened, but God forgives you, and that child is at peace, and you want to see that child again. So I'm sure you do. I know you do. So that being the case, look to God, ask for forgiveness. So, but regardless, a Christian, godly woman will do what is required of her by God. Women can be leaders of basically anything without God being mad or upset, save for being pastresses. They cannot be pastresses. I mean, physically, can they? Yes. Does God want them to? No, because the the church is to model marriage, which is to model the relationship between God and the person, God and the church. And the husband is to be the head, as God is the head of the Christian. The husband is to be the head of the wife and the head of the family, the head of the child. And, that for the child, that would be the father. And so the church is supposed to model that relationship and that marriage. So that's why women must not be pastresses. So, but I mean, they can do anything else in the church, and they can have their own business. They can do whatever. But if women and if women are not to marry another woman, and definitely not more than one person. The same thing goes for men. Men are not supposed to marry each other. So, and if you're going to get married, you must marry somebody of the opposite gender. If you, as in accordance with Scripture and what Scripture teaches, if you are not going to get married, you know, most likely if you date, somebody's eventually going to want to get married. And so you'll lose out on a bunch of relationships if you don't actually get married, at least the way I see it. But um, losing my train of thought. It if you essentially wouldn't, if you know, and I know of Christians that do this. If you know that there's no way you could be happy married to somebody of the opposite gender, and it has to be somebody of the same gender, you need to stay single so that you do not, bring down the wrath of God upon you and live in open sin and rebellion. So, that being said, women are supposed to be loving caretakers of their family and caretakers of their home, making the home a nice, warm, wonderful, welcoming place. And that being said, and and this goes for men too. If the other spouse is abusive, especially to a child, you will almost certainly have to get out of that marriage. And whether or not there can ever be reconciliation, that remains to be seen. I would never promote divorce on this channel, but you cannot stay in an abusive situation. Things have got to change. Um, Sometimes the man is the abuser, sometimes the woman's the abuser. But these are the things that God requires. So, um, and I would hate to sound like a hypocrite, so I will say this: I am divorced. Um, I was in a very toxic marriage that had to end, and God forgive me for getting in that relationship at all, because I knew a lot of what I was getting into, and it just got worse as it went on. And there was a part of that I was living in sin, and I should not have been so. But I've asked forgiveness with that, and I'm at peace with that, and I am waiting for God to show me and tell me if it's okay to remarry, based on how and why my marriage ended. So, and since it's ended and since I've been divorced, I've only asked out one person and it was no. And I haven't really tried with anybody else before or after that. So I'm waiting for God's will on that. But because a lot of people in the Christian church are divorced, and it's sad. Um, a lot of people don't want to do what it takes to uh, keep up their marriage and to take care of their marriage and to make sure that they're doing the right thing by God and their wife and their family. And usually, if only one person is working to keep the marriage up, usually it's going to end, because then it comes down to a choice, for a man or a woman. Do do I want to stay in a loveless marriage that the other person obviously doesn't care if I'm around, and I speak from experience, or does do I want to get out and be happy? Sometimes sometimes being married doesn't make you happy. Sometimes it just doesn't. And um, sometimes it comes down to a choice before you get married, that it's better to stay single than it is to get with this person that you know would be a bad choice for your life. So, um, I try to have every single thing that I say on here be able to be found in the Bible or come from the Bible. So, don't mean to take too long or get on a rant. Just wanted to make a couple of points here. Um, God bless women. I'm glad that God created them, and we are, when we marry somebody, they are supposed to be, um, depending on how it is. If you're a woman, you marry a man, they're supposed to be your husband and your best friend. And same thing, if a man marries a woman, she's supposed to be our wife and our best friend. So, yeah. And mothers and grandmothers, and aunts and nieces and daughters, they're all wonderful gifts from God. And I know Mother's Day is coming up soon. God bless all the mothers and the grandmothers. So, I hope you all have a wonderful day today and a wonderful Mother's Day when that actually comes up. And take care. God bless. And I will see you on the next video.